In Nikaah, B. R. Chopra makes a social comment on the Sharia laws of divorce, talaq, and its misuse in Indian Muslim society. Udharan: Haider, Raj Babbar, and Nilofer, Salma Agha, are students in the Osmania University. Haider, an aspiring poet, falls in love with Nilofer without knowing she is already engaged to Wasim. Deepak Parashar, who is a Nawab. Nilofer and Wasim eventually marry while Haider becomes a successful poet and editor of a magazine. Udharan: After marriage, Nilofer learns that Wasim is a workaholic and also has the tendency of picking up fights on petty issues. During their honeymoon, Wasim gets a new business contract and spends most of his time at work. Nilofer, who was expecting a blissful married life, is disappointed and feels neglected and lonely. Wasim repeatedly fails to keep his promises to Nilofer and keeps her in waiting on numerous occasions, often leaving her in tears. On the occasion of their first wedding anniversary, Wasim and Nilofer arrange a party for which Wasim fails to turn up. Nilofer can't face the guests and retires to her bedroom. The guests feel insulted by the absence of the hosts and leave the party. This leads to a heated argument between the couple, and in a moment of rage Wasim divorces Nilofer by saying talaq 3 times. Udharan Chenne. Nilofer, now a divorcee, is offered a job by Haider in his magazine. During this period she realizes Haider is still in love with her. Wasim, who has divorced her in a moment of anger, wants to reconcile and marry her again. He approaches the Imam and asks his advice on the matter. The Imam tells him the complexity of the Sharia law of Nikaah halal for remarrying a woman after divorcing her. This requires her to marry someone else, consummate the union and get a divorce later. Only then will Wasim be able to remarry Nilofer. Udharan: During this time Haider expresses his love towards Nilofer and his desire to marry her. They marry with the consent of their parents. Wasim sends a letter to Nilofer asking her to divorce Haider and marry him. Haider reads this letter and thinks that Nilofer and Wasim are still in love. He decides to offer her a divorce, so that she can marry Wasim. He brings Wasim to her and offers his consent to divorce her through talaq. But Nilofer turns it down and questions both of them on their treating of her like a property, rather than as a woman. She says she wants to continue her life with Haider. Wasim gives them his blessing and leaves. Udharan.